Okay, we're going to try this again. It's telling me I've got fantastic internet, so I don't know what is the problem. I don't know anything, really. I'm very confused. Very confused. If this one doesn't work, we're going to go over to, we're going to go and just do it straight on the phone and just do a straight phone live stream. I'm just going to jump over to here because I can see it a bit better if it's working. So we're working on your end. Oh, it's glitchy on my end. How are you guys saying? It says that chat is disabled for the live stream on the window. Are you... I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. Can you, you're all chatting, I can see you're chatting. So according to my system, it's telling me my internet's probably better than I've ever had before. So I don't know if it's glitchy or if it's just what I'm watching it on that is making it glitchier. I've got extra internets and stuff happening. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm just putting my microphone back on so I don't have to run away. All right, hi, welcome to the live stream. We are running exceptionally late today. Lots of technical issues. I'll actually remove the previous video so it's less disruptive and, you know, annoying in the stream when you see that, you know, you get everything exciting and then all of a sudden it's a failed stream. So welcome to everybody who have made it to the chat. I did not bring a notepad over. I don't know why. So at some stage I'm actually going to refresh my chat here, so just bear with me while that happens. We've got lots of people here. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? I love that username, honestly, that's brilliant. We've got Christine Crisp and Sue Chevalier. Kim Scullen is our mod, so for those of you that are new, with the people with the blue names and the spanners, they have moderation powers, which means that if you're naughty, rude, inappropriate, try to post photos and what have you, they will deal with that for me on my behalf. Not that I think you can post links now. I think YouTube have pretty well sorted that all out, which is great. Yeah, so welcome. Carol, we have literally just started. It has been a schmozzle nightmare of internet and all sorts of stuff going on. That's weird. I think I've been actually watching the stream of the wrong video to test to see if it's working. Because it just had the thing where I walked off. And yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Okay, I'm not. Oh, I'm on a screen share, you guys. Someone could have told me I was sharing my screen. Yeah, no, Jennifer, that was me. I had the wrong screen showing. We could see your OBS. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That's what you were just seeing then is what I see when we're live streaming. You were actually looking at exactly what I see when we live stream. So yeah, that's there you go. You got a little sneak peek into the back of what it is. So this is the software that I use. I don't actually have my picture at all, just to help my system function a bit better. That's why I have it running on a separate device. Kim is reminding everyone to not forget to thumbs up, so yes please, if you could. I know a lot of you have already done it on the other video, but I will be removing that other video to save the confusion. Okay, I think we're good. I need to calm down. Okay, well, I'm getting no dropped frames. Everything's just working. What a stressful morning. Oh, okay. There's so many exciting things happening right now. Kim says, I think anyone can throw links. Okay. I'll have to have a look. Oh, thank you. Sally reminded us to put it into live chat, not top chat. I definitely had top chat. So I have gone through. Chintamani, welcome to the chat. So the first thing I want to say is today is the first Thursday of the month here in Australia. I know it's Wednesday for some of you, which means that it's Caffeinated Crafters Night. So if you guys are local to the Brisbane region, or, you know, obviously willing to drive, we meet up in real life with our craft in our laps at the coffee club at Browns Plains Village Square. So it is absolutely, you're all welcome to come along. I do ask that you pop onto the Facebook group and just RSVP in the group. There's an event that I just put up. That is purely just so we can make sure we've got a big enough table. It's not, you know, it's not to make it so people can't go. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure. I think I've missed some conversation here with everything going mental. I've definitely missed comments. I've missed so much actually while I was stressing out and freaking out. So yeah, we've got lots of people in the chat. So the chat's moving quite quickly on my end. Yeah, so we've got all sorts of stuff. No, I have it so that it is, I have everything set fairly securely. I don't want everyone to be able to do stuff, which I don't know if that's, I'm not quite sure. I just prefer it that the mods can only put links in. Sally says, I say it every time. I'll see you in a few hours. Nature's Craft is having I have chuck roast in my belly. Nice. I have tea. Lots of tea. And have I had any breakfast? I haven't had breakfast. Wow. Do I like my new hair? I do, Donna. The colour's starting to fade, so I want to go and get a little top up. So, but I do like it. I'm definitely going to be going blue, like topping up with more blue. So it took me a little while to adjust to it, in all honesty. I'd walk past a mirror and be like, what was that? And realize it was my head. So that's always an interesting feeling. But other than that, yeah, I really like it. The cut itself, I'm not 100% certain of. But it's growing back in, so that's good. But the colour I love. Rebecca Nelson says that my birthday is almost over. Happy birthday, Rebecca Nelson. Annie says, how wonderful, slightly sad that I live in the US and I cannot join you guys for craft night. I am so sorry. Yeah, it is awesome. It's awesome. Cottage Keep has a question. Why do you do a provisional cast on? Thanks so much. There's a few different reasons why you can do provisional cast ons, but generally speaking, the reason that I use one is if it needs to be Kitchener stitched together at the end. Or if you are doing an extra border or something, it makes it sit nicer, sit flatter. You don't have that half stitch seam if you join things. Kim's jumped in. It's seamless that way instead of picking up cast on stitches. Absolutely. Look, if you hate provisional cast on so much and you're willing to have a seam, then just do a standard cast on, but it does change the appearance a little bit. Nature's Craft said, what was I thinking? I've missed something there. Hang on, let me have a look. I'm crocheting on this blanket. I think it's a bit more than I can chew. It's becoming way tedious. Yeah, I've got a project like that. It's in the corner. Actually, I've got a few projects like that. They're all in the corner. Leanne says, no brekkie, coffee all the way. Well, I had coffees already. I've already had a coffee, and now I've got my I Can Talk Forever tea. Yeah. Let me think. Donna says, I don't think I could do blue, but maybe pink. Yeah, well, see, I don't think I could do pink. So, and I've done sort of reddy colours and things like that. But yeah, it's a bit crazy. So, guys, in Australia specifically, and if you're in the US, if you could let me know. In Australia, it's Mother's Day on the 12th of May. We always celebrate Mother's Day on this second Sunday of May. I'm not sure if I don't think that's a worldwide thing. Mother's Day and Father's Day dates. But anyway, we celebrate Mother's Day here on the 12th of May. And I've got a special little thing. If those of you who've been watching me make these beautiful cows out of the Leo 2 yarn, any orders that go out from today onwards will get a printed copy of the paper pattern. So of the cow. So this one's not quite finished yet. But the pink one is, and this is just a second test. I say it's a second test. Really, I just wanted a purple one as well as a pink one. So I've got the pattern all ready to go. I do have to print it out yet. It's not printed. But any orders for the Leo 2 will be getting a copy of the pattern. Now, it's quite quick to make if you actually work on it instead of just put it in the corner like what I did, because I've had a crazy hectic weekend. Then you could actually have it finished. If you ordered it in time for this weekend, you could have it finished as a gift for your mum for Mother's Day, or you could give, if your mum's a crocheter, you could give her the pattern and the yarn as a gift for her. Let me look here. You should have done Blurple. What? I possibly should have, but I don't have this yarn in Blurple. My kids, Kim says, my kids want to buy me a foot massager so they can use it, and Rose's chocolates because they like them. That's insane. Christine says, Europe has a different Mother's Day. It's before Easter. Sally says, I think Mother's Day is different in the UK. Ah, yes. Yeah. So do we have the same Mother's... So Father's Day is the first Sunday of September for you all. Is that correct? I think that's how it works here. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. Throw that in the comments. Leanne says, love your mums, everybody. I miss mine every day. An amazing mum she was. Mother's Day is one of those days that can be hard for a lot of people, and I think it's important that we respect that, but also to celebrate the amazing women in our lives. I've always celebrated Mother's Day in a slightly different way than most people. It is... I've always, like, because my mum's awesome, and I always do stuff with my real, you know, my mum for Mother's Day, but there's a lot of amazing women in my life who are really important to me, so I always make sure that I at least ring them and give them a call or send them a card just as a thank you for Mother's Day. It's like for me, it's like a reminder day to appreciate amazing women in our lives. That's where I'm going with that. Kim says, I don't have this yarn in Blurple is the worst excuse ever, considering you are the dyer. You are correct, and I will rectify it when I get more of the yarn. At the moment, what we have in stock of the Leo 2 is all there is. I need to order more of the yarn base. This was a little taste test to see if you guys liked it. What did we do, Andrea? We already had about 10 skeins of the watermelon from the Mystery Lace Club, and then we did another 30 skeins across 5 or 6 new colours. Yeah, 5 new colours, just to see if you liked it, see if it was something that I should bring in more as a regular. The resounding answer is yes, I need more, and I need more in more colours. So yeah, we're going to order some more in, and Andrew and I will dye up some more. For us, we get covered in fluff for days after dyeing this yarn, honestly. How did the soaking tub go, Kim? Well, I didn't actually use it yet. It's just sitting out in the back patio. Andrew said, did we do it in lake as well? Yes, we did, because I love lake. We did it in all my favourite colours, you guys. Yeah. So we've been having a bit of fun with some other colours. I popped a picture over on Instagram of some new Pegasus colours that I was trialling, and we had a little discussion over there. And yeah, it was interesting. I'm going to pull some colors down, but not blurple. No, I did look, the reality, I didn't even think of doing blurple. Now I'm just going to lean back here to grab some colors, so bear with. Yeah, it was these two. So we had some greens that we've trialed. I'm not sure how they look for you guys. Agave and poison ivy. And we also had in the brinjal, which I don't have any handy to add in. And I had a photo over on Instagram. And so we had lots of new colours to show there. And what I'd like to be able to do is eventually have all the regular group colours on all the bases. Does that make sense? So we're sort of just trialing a few different ones out. It's very hard. This poison ivy is a really hard colour, I've worked out, to get a good photo of that does it justice. It seems to just blow out. It just blows out whatever camera. So, you know, it's very hard, but I will try and get some interesting things happening. Rebecca totally forgot about my sale over Easter. I'm sorry, Rebecca. The sale went so well. I was really happy with how it went. And I really was a bit humbled, if that makes sense. I know people love sales, and I get that, but I was really just a little bit shocked at how hard some people hit the sale. So it was exciting. I would love to know your opinion on the interchangeable ChiaoGoo spin needles. So the bamboo crochet hooks. I've got a video up on the ChiaoGoo interchangeables. It's a bit of an oldie, but I actually really like them. Like, the reality is, I'm a stainless steel girl. I like the twist better, personally. No, spin. Oh man, I've got my brain mixed up. Spin is bamboo, twist is stainless steel. That's right. So you're wanting to know about the bamboo. And I've always been a bit anti-bamboo for many years, because I was buying cheap bamboo products from, like, basically eBay and the equivalents of Wish before Wish came around. And when I first started selling ChiaoGoo about 5 years ago, I was really ordering in the stainless steel stuff. I wasn't really ordering in any of the bamboo, because I honestly thought, it's bamboo, all bamboo is the same. I don't want to deal with that. It's grabby and it's splintery, and I didn't like it. But, the big but, someone asked me, can you get the bamboo in? And they wanted something in particular. So in my next order, I got it for them. They wanted some straights. And I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away by the difference in the ChiaoGoo Moso bamboo and how they treat it versus the bamboo I'd been using, the Sullivans or the, you know, the cheapy ones that I'd been grabbing from wherever. And it was like holding the difference between, I'm trying to think of something, but basically something smooth and slinky and quality versus something that was rough and unfinished. Does that make sense? And so I love them. I think they're great. I still prefer personally to knit on the stainless steel, because I'm a bit of a quick knitter and I like the stitches to move very fast. But in saying that, when I'm working with silk, I always go for my bamboo needles, because the silk moves too fast and I can't keep up and drop stitches, and it's very bad. So I love both for different things, but my personal preference is the bamboo. But I always use the red cables. I'm not a fan of the spin cables. I like the non-memory of the red ChiaoGoo plastic coated wire cables. But I know a lot of people that prefer the spin cables. They've got like swivels. So for those of you that are fisher people, you know, with the swivel so your line doesn't get tangled up, it has that at the ends of the where the joint is. So the cable spins around, which is why it's called spin. But you can switch out and use whichever cables you want. But I use my bamboo tips with my red cables, but it's a personal preference. So, and in my rant about that, I've missed so many comments, so I'm just going to scroll back. Where are we? Andrew says, it surprises me how much I like the agave, considering how, yeah, Andrew and I, when we were doing this, we pulled this out of the pot. It was all wet. We were like, yeah, no, that's not what we were going for. And then we made this and we were like, woohoo, yeah, that's what we want. And then as this dried, it really grew on me. And Andrea was saying yesterday it's really grown on her as well. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So I actually like them both for different reasons and for different uses. Now, someone asked, Lindsay, have you heard anything back from Dedry about the Charlotte's Dream kits? I have, and I will be putting out a kit for Bendigo. I'll be working on pricing and what have you over the next couple of weeks. I've actually just been, my last batch of dyeing did up some extras of the grey so I can, you know, start working out the weights and how much grey I need. And yeah, I'll be going forward with a kit. We'll see how it looks. I might just have a couple because it's a pretty big, it's a lot of yarn. There's like 12 50-gram balls. I think there'll be about 3 in a really sort of ecru natural color and possibly 300 grams of the grey as well. So that's a, you know, that's a lot of yarn, a lot of hand-dyed yarn. So we're going to see. I don't think it's going to be a kit for everybody, honestly. It's a little bit, I think it's going to be a little bit price prohibitive. But in saying that, what I'm getting, like for my, I've got one of mine here to work on. This is my agave one. I'm loving how it's coming up. I love it, and I'm glad that I'm doing it in the Pegasus. I honestly didn't think I would ever be a person who would make a blanket out of hand-dyed yarn, and I see people do it all the time, like just with scraps and ends of balls and things, and I was like, no, that's never going to be me, but I'm actually loving it. So I will organize a kit. I'll probably just do a couple and then have a pre-order option so that I can put them together for people. And then the other option will be if you do pre-order and you don't like a particular color and you want to swap it for another one, we can do that a little bit as well. But that's a little bit going forward. That's not right just yet. So, yeah. Dee says it's a nice sage color. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a really nice neutrally sort of green. Chris Bragg says, yeah, you are here now. Yes, sorry, Chris. We started very late. We started about 20 minutes late, you guys. Yeah. It was a bit, something hinky happened with the internet, which was weird because we were getting bizarre, amazing internet speeds, and then it was not working. I don't know what happened, but it's sorted now. Kim says, if you want a quality wool blanket, then it's not expensive, but it's not the acrylic prices. You're right, Kim. That's exactly what it is. And I think we get like a really nice sized blanket with some beautiful colors in it for not too expensive for a wool blanket. You're right, yeah. Annie says, I need to start saving up for that kit. I'll start working out some sort of rough ballpark prices so people can get an idea over the next week or so. I'll know more for next week's live stream. Rebecca says, I have almost every length of the red cables. Yeah, me too. I love them. I also have extras in the 55s. I seem to use them so much more. Nature's Crafts, I enjoy a variety of materials. I love clover, takumi, as well as chalgu metal, Addie, Denise, etc. Yeah. Sally says, does that mean you'll have 20 extra minutes? I will try to go over by 20 extra minutes at the end, but if we're scrambling and it's boring, then, you know, what's the point if it's boring? But I don't reckon it will be, but I will. We'll get our hour and a half. Don't worry about it. I've got a timer here that tells me how long we've actually been streaming for. Kim says, the bamboo tips aren't lace tips, are they? No, they are not. They are not. The smaller sizes are quite pointy, but the larger sizes not so much. Where are we? Sally says it's never boring. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. My tea's already cold, you guys. I'm like, oh, we've only been streaming for 20 minutes or 26 minutes, but I've been trying to stream for the last 40. So, tea top-up time. I was a bit stressed this morning when this wouldn't work. And I'm like, but I made everything. I got new batteries for things. I got everything sorted, and then it didn't work. So yeah. It's working now. Alright, Kim says, I can't knit on regular tapered now that I'm used to lace tips. You know what? I'm the same, Kim, and that is the struggle I have with the bamboo tips. So when I'm knitting silk using the bamboo tips, I really have to make some considerations. It's fine if I'm knitting fine silk, but if I'm knitting like chunkier, like 4/8 ply sort of silk, it's a hit and miss. I do tend to lean towards a steel first. Lisa says, I haven't used my new ChiaoGoo needles yet. Oh my gosh. Why not? And I understand it's probably time, Lisa. I really do. Kim wants access to access to add things to Patreon because my daughter is Kim's spy and sends Kim so many little sneaky videos of me running around their house just being crazy that Kim wants to share it on Patreon. And she wants to know if you all agree with her. Kim says, I haven't used my new shorties or minis. But we know why that is, Kim. We do. We know why that is. Donna loves her ChiaoGoos. Diane, welcome to the chat. Yeah, so you guys, this is a new stream from the ones that we started this morning. So if you could double check that you've clicked your thumbs up, you know, if you think it's thumbs up worthy. Otherwise, you could thumbs down it if you really want. Someone has been. I've noticed the last, I was going through some stats and paperwork the other night, and I'm like, hang on a second. Who's been thumbs downing my live streams? But someone has, and that's okay, because everyone's entitled to their opinion, and if I didn't answer a question that they wanted answered, I can understand why they would do that. Andrew says, don't give Kim access, she has photos of me too. Chintamani's thinking about getting the shorties. There you go. Are you thinking about the blue shorties or the red shorties, Chintamani? Rebecca has the minis but not the shorties. For me, I was thinking about shorties and I realized I probably wouldn't use the red shorties so much. But now that the blue shorties are coming out, I will definitely be considering that more because they're more in the sizes that I prefer to use. And that's something I really appreciate about ChiaoGoo is they bring out a product, they take on the feedback, and then they'll may bring out more products or adapters or whatever they think that people wanted. One of the photos in the shorties case looks purple. It does, and I'm going to be honest with you, those photos came from ChiaoGoo. I didn't take those photos as I've not had access yet. So it is definitely blue. It is not purple. Kim Nelson's asking, did you get the questionnaire responses that you wanted? So what Kim's referring to is we had an email survey go out to everybody who has been a member or is a current member of the Mystery Lace Club. And it was just a couple of quick questions asking, you know, do you like it? Do you enjoy it? How did you find it? The how did you find it question actually was perplexing. When I first read the first response, I was a bit like, okay, yep, no problems. And then when I read the next response, I was like, okay, people are reading this question differently. Some people were answering it as in, how did they find it? As in, were they finding the club good or bad, or you know, they like what's in the boxes or whatever. And other people were answering it in the way that I actually intended it, which was YouTube or Facebook or whatever. And I realized when I reread, because I was reading the answers going, what? I realized you can absolutely answer it either way, and it's totally correct. So, but yeah, I got lots of responses back. I think about half of the people who I sent it to responded. And I've gotten some good information back, which I'm really taking on board. The one tidbit of information that I thought was really amusing is one of the questions was, do you enjoy getting the sweet treats in your box? And everybody except for one person said yes. And then, oh no, was it I can't remember the exact wording of it, But basically it was like, do you want to continue to get sweet treats in your box? And everyone but one was like, yep. And then it was like, do you care if they're melted? Because we've just had a really hot summer, and nothing I did could stop them from melting. Like, I could keep them cool here, but the second they're in the postal system. So yeah, it was, oh, but yeah, everyone doesn't care. No one cares. We just want them. Just give us the lollies. So the lollies are continuing. The sweet treats are continuing. We just want to double check. Regarding the shorties, that's why I posted the unboxing video on Facebook. Yes, I saw that. I haven't watched the video yet, but I did see it. Yeah. Odd But Nice says, I want an entire Chow Goose set. Do you sell those? Do you mean as in just the complete sets, like, or do you mean like you want minis, shorties, blue shorties? So yeah, I'm a bit confused what you actually want, but they have a small set, which is the 2.75 mil to 5 mil, and then they have the large set, which is a 5 mil to a 10 mil, and then they have a complete set, which is all of them. So and the answer is yes, I sell complete sets. About the color and the sizes, yeah. Andrew says, I'm eating the sweet treats as you speak. Redskins. I may have quality tested some of those lollies. And did you guys notice that the Milkos were soft? When I was a kid, Milkos weren't soft. Jennifer P wants to know, what are shorties? Shorties are a Chow stainless steel knitting needle set that have got these little teeny 2-inch and 3-inch tips, with these tiny, I think it's 7 and 8-inch cables, so that you can make it's like a little tiny interchangeable set. I don't even have a set here to show you, and make a little tiny interchangeable set that means that you can have interchangeables from 7 inches to 8 inches to 14 inches, I think it is. And it's a 4-inch and a 5-inch cable. That's right, it is. 4-inch and 5-inch cables and little 2 and 3-inch tips. And each size you get a pair of 2-inch tips and a pair of 3-inch tips, so that you can have a short one and a long one, or 2 long ones, or whatever you want to do. So yeah, it is very it's a really interesting little way, especially if you're doing a lot of socks or small preemie hats or little very small circulars, and the 9 inches are a bit long for you, then they're definitely good. Yeah. Natalie says, read the Milkos. Sometimes they were hard and sometimes they were soft. I remember having some that was soft on the outside and then a hard strip in the center. I don't really get why they're so different, honestly. But yeah, these ones were all soft, and I was a bit shocked. Hey Sashin, welcome to the chat. Where are we? The Gamer Widows release date is sometime in June, so it depends on timing. Did I miss it? Hang on. Will you have them at Bendy? I'm really hoping to have them at Bendigo, but I have to sort of wait and see. Sometimes their releases are delayed, and sometimes they're right on time. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm hoping for June, so I should have them in July. But we'll see. I can't guarantee it, but I'm hoping for it. I'm planning for it. Donna Carr wants to know, which do I like best, knit or crochet? That is a tough question, Donna. I don't have a fast answer for you. I crocheted first before I was comfortable knitting, and so it is my go-to craft when I'm sick, or when I need to do something, that I just want, like a no-brain project where you don't have to concentrate on it hard. So it's one of those things where I tend to do that for crochet. I also like crochet cover tops, because I'm in Queensland. I'm a big girl. I don't like to bear too much, but it's also hot. So I make like lacy tops to go over singlets and things for when I go out and do school run. So I like to crochet that sort of stuff, but I prefer knit jumpers. I love to knit lace and beaded lace. So I don't know. I think I preferred them for different things. That does not answer your question. Now Nature's Crafts, are you crocheting with lace weight? I'm crocheting with Leo 2. It is it's a mohair silk blend. So it's quite fluffy. The actual silk part of it, which is the bit that's taking all the, it's got mohair too, but the strand itself is pretty lace weight, but you do treat it as more of a fingering weight, otherwise it becomes too thick and dense. And I'm crocheting my basic cowl, which is a pattern I've sort of thrown together. I'm sure I'm not the first person to do it. It's just something I threw together, but I'm writing down what I've done so that you guys can make one the same way, and it just uses a single skein. I've got some photos over on Instagram of one that I made in another color. I made one in the pink. I'm just going to reach over. I made one in this watermelon flesh pink, which I've got photos of over on Insta. Back up there. Yeah. Have you used the hook set? Is it compatible with the red lace cables? Yes and yes. There is a a review coming out very soon. I recorded and it's in the final stages of editing. And I have used the hook set, and it is absolutely compatible with the red cables, the joiners, the everything. Anything that goes with your interchangeable sets, it's compatible with, except instead of screwing in needle tips, you're screwing in crochet hooks. So it uses all the same keys and end stoppers and cable joiners and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Can the shorties use the same longer red cables that the ordinary steel chow goos do? The answer is no. They use the mini cables. So you can use it on the, if you've got a mini set which has got the very fine red cables, then yes. So if you've got tips that range from the 1.5 mil up to the 2.5 mil, those fine cables, then yes, you can use those, but it can't use the small or the large cables that come with a standard set. This is turning in very much into a ChowGoo Q&A, and I'm happy for it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Game Widow says, I've just finished my handspun silk hap. It's hibernating for a bit before I block it because it was fine yarn and it took ages, and it's going to take forever to block, I bet. Absolutely. I spend all afternoon trying to make gauge in crochet. If I get stitch count, then the row is wrong, and vice versa. There are some really interesting videos out and discussions out. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I tend to pull my stitches, so I get taller stitches, whereas some people come in and they ride along the top and they bring it all, and they don't, and they get much shorter stitches and much more dense stitches. I think there's, riders, lifters, and pullers, I think, are the 3 variations. Kim could confirm that for me. But yeah, so it depends on what you do when you're actually utilizing your hook. And the reality is we all have our own way that we're comfortable with. It is no less correct or incorrect than any other person, but you do have the problem of making gauge. And sometimes you'll just have to do a bit of math, and especially if it's just going to be a bit longer, maybe work out a way where a space or a way where you can have a few less rows to make up for your excess in height. Blue shorties use the small connector. They do. The blue shorty sets are using the small cables. The red shorties use the mini cables. I think that's correct. I don't know as much about the blue shorties as I should, to be honest, but I can tell you lots about the red shorties and all that. I can go and grab some information. I can see my information sheet, so I can tell you more about the blue shorties if you need me to. Nature's Craft says, where can I get the cow pattern? It's not printed yet, but I will have a PDF copy up in my free patterns section of my website in the next couple of days. But I am sending it out free first with those that buy yarn. They get it just for a week before anybody else can have it. Just 1 week. What stitch am I doing? I'm doing a UK treble, or it's a US double crochet. So it's yarn over, insert it into the stitch, pull it through, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. It's the yarn that's doing all the work in this, you guys. This is just a really basic stitch. It's fantastic. Can skim along when I crochet. I just checked. There you go. Nature's Craft says that she's a tight crocheter. I know another tight crocheter. There you go. Kim's popped a link in for those that are wanting to know the differences between the different types of crocheters, whether you're a rider or a lifter. Where are we? I think the stitch count is more important than the row count because you can do a more or less rows. That's exactly right, Sally. You can adjust for rows a lot easier than stitches because normally your patterns are based in the stitches. So if you've got increasing or sort of design in there, that's all based on the stitches, but you can always sneak in like an extra row if you're too short, and just keep it the same and elongate a pattern, or you can make it a row shorter and do the opposite. So yeah, are the tips the same size as the red? So they're the same lengths as the red, but they are a different size package. Hang on a second, I'm going to go and grab the info sheet. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. All right. Info sheet. See, I was all planning on talking to you about Bendigo and Redlands and all these events I'm going to go to. We'll get to those soon. There was a new subscriber. Welcome, Stacel. Welcome to the chat, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Okay, so I'm just digging out the information on the blue flex. Okay, so the red are on mini. The blue flex are definitely on the small cables. They will be, the sizes are, where are their sizes? 1.5 mil up to 5 mils is what they are. Where are we? The 1.5 and the 3.25 have a mini join and have the cable connectors. Hang on a second, that's confusing. They shouldn't have a mini join. Have a mini join and have a tightening hole near the threads. Okay, so there you go. They have small and minis, but they'll have the connectors in there so you can connect them. Hang on, I'm confused. Hang on a second. It's blue flex cables. Okay. All right. Let me just, I read that wrong. Okay. I read it wrong. They're talking about the general shorties tips, the 3-inch tips, which they will be bringing out. Sorry, I'm the worst. But the 3.25, no, the 3.5s up to the 5s have the small join. Okay, that was confusing, wasn't it? All right, but you have, let me know if I answered the question, because I'm confused now. Thank you, Kim. 3.5 to 5. Do you stock the ChiaoGoo combo? I have a couple. They're just a little single size with a couple of cords. Let me know if there's a particular size, and I'll see if I've got it. Otherwise, I can get it in. Marion wants to know what's the benefits of the blue. The blue, Marion, means that it's the same deal as the reds, as the shorty reds, but you've got larger needles. So the minis went from 1.5 up to now I'm second guessing myself. I think the minis went from 1.5 to 3.25. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. And then so you had the short tips in those sizes. And then the blue shorties will come in the 3.5 to the 5 mil with all the sizes in between, so that you've got the larger sizes. So better for sleeves and like sections of larger garments. So yeah. Rider. Oh, thank you, Kim, for answering that question. I missed it. Marion got it. Thank you. No problems, Marion. Oh dear. We have another new subscriber today. It was Rose joined up today. I thank you, Kim. Kim's found all the information for us. Good job, Kim. My brain just totally went on a holiday, and the words were written there, and I still couldn't read them. So, yeah. You're loving the neutrals and the neons. Hang on a second, I've missed something. Who's neutrals and neons? I want to get yarn too when I... Oh, you like my neutrals and neons? Yeah, I don't really have much of an in-between, do I? It's either neutral or neon. But I like them, so, you know. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, so Bendigo and Redlands. Redlands is the 18th of June, which is coming sooner than later. I will have a stall. For those of you that don't know, go and check over on the Fibrific Fun Zone. I shared a page, the Redlands Spinners Warped and Twisted event. It is just a really great, it's a very busy day for me, but it's a lot of fun. They have it at a convention centre down at Cleveland, which is in Brisbane. And that it's just a really amazing day. Then they have a really massive fashion parade, and there's things that you can buy and mini workshops that you can do, and you can watch people do things, and it's just a really fun little day. It runs, I have to double check the times, I think it's 9 till 3. It's an unusual time block in the middle of a day, and it's just for one day only on a Tuesday, which is another unusual thing for it to be on a Tuesday, but it really works. So that's why they're sticking with it. And I love it. I've been going now for, I'd like to say 4 years or maybe 5. I could be wrong. Oh, I don't know. It feels like 5 years. And I love it. And they contact me just after the event. Are you interested in next year? And I'm like, yes, thank you. I love it. And then we've got Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. For those of you that don't know, the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show are it is the largest wool show in Australia. The closest thing that we could possibly compare it to would be possibly Rhinebeck, but not on the same scale as Rhinebeck, but that kind of thing. You've got all the sheep, you've got the farmers, you've got all that sort of stuff, as well as you've got all of us hand dyers and hand makers. Everything's there. It's such a fantastic weekend. It's the middle of winter in Bendigo, which is a really excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, it's really cold. I'm a Queenslander. I live in subtropics. My winter might mean I have to put on a long sleeve t-shirt and full length pants instead of shorts. Down there it's like, right, I've got 14 layers of clothing on. How many have you got on? So it's very cold, but it's beautiful. It's normally clear and blue, and like the sky's blue, and it's just gorgeous. Yeah, it's lovely. Leanne loves Redlands. It's a good venue, great vendors, and she'll be there if she can. That's awesome. Annie says that Cal and Yarn Combo are creating a beautiful piece with really nice stitch definition. I love it. Honestly, it's such an easy piece to work on. I'm going to be really honest. I'm one of these people that makes a thing once. I get bored very fast, and I've made it and I'm moving on. When I made the pink one, and I just went and balled another ball to start another one because I couldn't believe that I was done, and I didn't want to be done. So that's why I'm starting on the violetish as well. It doesn't hurt that they're colours that I love, so I will wear both. But it's just been a great project. It's really compact. I throw it my handbag. I was at a parent-teacher interview night on Tuesday night. I had to think about that. And I just had it in my bag, and I just pull it out and do a couple of stitches between each interview because there's no tracking, because it's just a spiral piece. And it's just lovely. It's just so nice to work with. Where are we? Oh, hey, Joss, welcome to the chat. Kim says, in a crochet group I used to admin, we used to all make squares and send them to pregnant members to assemble into baby blankets. There was a set pattern, a set finish size. It was a good exercise to see how your gauge compares to others. Absolutely. Your winter is like my late spring or early weather here in Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Australian winters are not the same as some US winters. We don't get snow in the majority of our country. There's some areas that get a little bit of snow, but not much. Yeah, it is a little bit. It's a little bit. Our winter is a bit naff compared to other people's. Queensland winters are specifically. Yes, Queensland winters are just, they're a bit of a joke, really. And we have about 2 days where we need an actual jumper. But our summers are getting hotter, and I'm not enjoying that, I can tell you right now. Where are we? Are you loving it? Thank you, Dee. I'm really enjoying the yarn. I honestly thought, because you guys know I get so many reactions and allergies and things to so many things, that I wasn't sure how I would go with this particular yarn. And I thought it was going to be like sort of like what I do with the alpaca silk. It'd be one for you guys, but not one for me. But I'm loving it, and it's not at all itchy, and it doesn't spike me or hurt me. It does tend to cover my clothes in fluff when I'm dyeing it. That might have something to do with the quantities. But other than that, I don't get much fluff on me when I'm working with it, which is nice. Kim says, that being said, we have had snow in the middle of summer in Tasmania. Yes, Tasmania is very south, though. It's very south. People in Queensland get used to the warm weather and all complain as soon as the temperature drops under 20. I know, don't they? I love it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm cold. And I pull a little blanket on and I get to snuggle. It's so nice. But yeah, a winter's day, if you're in the sun in Queensland, could still be 20, 23 degrees. The nights drop down to be quite cold. But if you're in the sun during the day, you don't need a jacket. Where are we? Lots of people. Yeah, spring is coming for some of you. You're in. Oh, that's right. You're in Rhode Island. Yeah. Yeah. There's just temps in Fahrenheit. Oh yeah. That's all right. I got that. I try to mentally work them out, but I quite often forget. Like, I can get an idea of where you are coming back to Celsius, but going from Celsius to Fahrenheit, I struggle a bit more with, and I tend to just hit Google and just do the convert there. Kirby said, Kirby, did you not get your notification again? I'm sorry. I highly recommend, lovelies, if you want to catch this live stream every week, pop it in your Google Calendar or your a reminder in your phone that it starts at 10 a.m. Brisbane time. So 1 hour and 11 minutes ago, whatever your time zone is, that's when it's supposed to start. We didn't start that time today because I had technical problems, but that's what time it's supposed to start. And that way you can jump in. You can actually, I try to put a placeholder in the night before, and even if I'm not there, the conversation starts before I get here. And so if you get in early, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you can just jump in and have fun. And that way you don't have to worry about YouTube remembering, because they quite often don't send out the notifications. Unfortunately, while I personally think this is a great size live chat, the chat just moves enough that it's constant. But we can all read all the comments, and I love that. I love that we can all have a good conversation and we can still see everything. And I think it's a great size group. This, like in YouTube standards, they look at this and go, oh, not many people are watching, it mustn't be any good. But we know different, and that's fine. So it might be easier for you to pop pop it into your personal reminders, because YouTube won't always do it, and they actually quite happy with that. They say, yes, we don't send out notifications to everybody because we don't want, because that's what we do. We don't. We work out if people are happy. They base it on the number of views and the number of thumbs up and the number of comments. And then they're like, oh, well, there's a few active people in here. We'll send it out to another few percent of the subscribers of that channel. So, look, I don't understand. I don't claim to understand exactly how their brain or their algorithm or their notification system works, but it's something along those lines. Yeah. Nature's Crafts just finished today's 185 single crochets. That's fantastic. Black Cat NZ said it starts New Zealand midday. And someone posted that it was 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Rowan popped in that was 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So toss it in your calendars, guys, or pop notes on whatever device it is that you watch on, so that it will send you a reminder, say 10 minutes beforehand, so you can grab your craft in a cuppa, or, you know, go and lock yourself in a room where there's no children, or whatever it is that you do for your live streams. Marion says, stupid algorithm. I have those thoughts at times, Marion, I'll confess. But at the same time, as I said, I quite like this group. To me, it feels a bit like a craft group, except I end up doing all the talking, which, you know, at craft group, I like to sit and listen a bit. So, you know, now I did spot your message, Sally, asking about the Zoom chat. This conversation has just reminded me, the Zoom chat for the Patreons. And that's as far as I got. I meant to set a date and time, and then I've had a bit of a chaotic week with the sale, and then my silly puppy eating all that chocolate and going to the vet, and having to stay at the vet's for 24 hours while they look after her and all that sort of stuff. She's on the mend now, though, which is good. She started eating normal food again, and her energy levels are coming back up, and so that's all good. But I just had a bit of a stressful week. But I would like to ask, I'll ask here first, do you, like, I'm looking at times, and I'm trying to toss up whether or not to do one session or 2 sessions where anybody can turn up to both, as long as you're a Patreon member of any tier level, it doesn't matter. And I'm just trying to work out a time that suits lots of people, because I could happily do it sort of at like midday on Friday my time, or I could do it you know, like an evening, but I would need to just double check that with my family a little bit. But through the middle of the day in my time, I've got a bit more flexibility, but I can understand if you guys wanted it a bit different time so you're relaxed as well. So yeah, we'll sort it out. It is definitely going to happen, though. It just might be another week or 2 in the organising before we get it done. Sally says she completely forgot you asked. I didn't forget. I forgot to answer. I didn't forget that you asked. I just forgot to actually say the answer outside. So glad your papa is doing better. She is. She's doing so much better. Sally says any time is good for her. I'm home all the time. That's good to know, Sally. That's good to know. Kim, I just read that. Right click to pledge your undyed support via Patreon. So those of you that are Patreons, I want to say a huge thank you. It is because of your support that I'm able to keep trying different, like I was able to purchase this microphone, the arm that holds this camera above our head. This is a articulated arm. I can move it around, which I will not do because it makes people sick when I move it while the camera is running. And things like that have been purchased with the money that has been sent via Patreon. Also being able, and it's been chipping in towards the internet bill, which is why we've been able to get slightly better and better quality of internet when it works. That's still an issue, and I don't think any amount of money that we throw at that problem will fix it at this stage. But I've been able to upgrade phone plan and things like that, so I get a better quality of internet when it works. And so little things, and every dollar that you've been donating towards the Patreon has been helping in all of these things. and I really appreciate it a lot. I was talking to my husband about we were joking about my massive YouTube dollars had rolled in, and he was asking me about it, and I said, well, um, let's just say I could probably pay a month's phone bill with the last 4 months worth of money I got off YouTube. So it is, it's been one of those things. So having you guys over on Patreon, I understand not everybody can do it. I really do get that. Um, and you can actually, there's a free level of Patreon if you just want to catch any of the posts that I make available to everybody, which those of you that are in Patreon realize how funny that is, because I don't post all that much over there. I'm a bit slack, and I'm trying to fix it, which is why I'm doing a bonus Zoom chat for all of you over on Patreon, and that will be for all financial levels. That's not for the 15 and aboves only, it's for everybody. So yeah, so it is wonderful, and thank you. Kim's reckoning I could set up a mini space at her place so I can stream from here once my craft space is sorted out. I love that idea, but I'm not. It's too far for me to get to and set up and do all the stuff. Kim just wants access to Patreon. Oh dear, Kim. You know, the more evil that you sound, the less likely I'm going to do it. Donna says, I really love this knit and crochet group. Oh, that's awesome, Donna. I'm glad you love it. Odd But Nice says, I'm in the USA, but I don't mind even midnight for me. I'm a night owl. It's 8:18 right now. So, a Freaky Geek. Hey, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Poor old Freaky Geeks had to use a real or a different name over on Facebook. So, been tricking people. But I appreciate that you've had to change some things around. Where are we? No more darts, Freaky Geek from Kim. Annie says, I agree with Donna. It's just the right size, and it's by stitchable. Yes, because I just think I'm very lucky that I can do lots of different crafts, and not everybody can, and I get that. And I do try to make it as inclusive as possible. I was setting up for today, and I wanted to work on my cowl, and I was like, oh, but I've been doing so much crochet lately, I should really do something else. And I was like, but I really want to work on my cowl. So sorry guys, I'm working on the cowl again. My other phone is binging, that's annoying. So multi-stitchel, that's right, we've got lots of stitch typers here. And I actually like to call it multi-craftual, because I don't just stitch, I also spin and dye. So multi-craftual is where I like to sit. That's what I like to be called, guys. But yeah, I think it's great that we have this this sort of, it's a thing with a stick and some yarn, and we are talking across multiple continents about what we like to do with our sticks and yarn. I think it's wonderful. I think it's so wonderful. Joss is asking how my Charlotte's Dream is coming along. Joss, I have stalled just a dash. Look, I'm just up to this one still. I brought it to show. Because it's a bit more of a brain intensive pattern, with my week of craziness that I've just had, I couldn't really concentrate on it, and I didn't want to have to keep pulling it out and redoing it over again, so I kind of just put it aside for a bit and just worked on this one instead, because it's a lot easier. It's fiberific. Yes, it is. And he says, even better, I stand corrected, multi-craftual. Yes. Yeah. It's very inclusive, being multi-craftual. And Joss understands, that's good. So yeah, so my Snowy is a bit under the weather. She's not barking at quite as many things as she would like to. So the other thing that's been going on here, we've had so much going on. We had the big Easter sale, we had Mystery Lace Club go out, we had, my dad's been staying here for a little bit, and he's been helping us get some pretty heavy duty yard work. We had, when we bought this house, there was an above ground pool, and it basically carked it about 2 weeks after we moved in, and it was the middle of winter, so we never got to swim in the pool that was here when we bought the house. And then over time, we pulled the pool down, we pulled the decking away because it was all built in with decking. And then we used the pool fenced area and halved it. We had the chickens on one side, and then we had so we kept the chickens on one side for a while, and then that started dying, so we pulled the chickens out and put them somewhere else. But that whole area kind of became this sort of no-go zone of just destruction. And it was just this, it just seemed like this small little corner of the yard that we just weren't using. So we're like, yeah, whatevs. And because we've got a 1/4 acre block, it's a pretty big block. But my husband was like, you know, I'm tired of cleaning up all these fronds and stuff, and cutting everything down. So he's been going through and cutting down all these palm fronds, like palms and things like that. And then we had, then as that's done, it's sort of really opened out, and my dad's been actually removing all the poles and struts. And it's this huge area. We've realized we've just been ignoring this massive space. It's easily 10 meters by 5 meters, like at least. It's this huge space that we just weren't using. So yesterday afternoon, my dad like dug this big hole and lined it with bricks, and we made like a little bit of a fire pit. Now in Australia, we're not supposed to like incinerate anything, but we had all these dry sticks, and my daughter's been like hammering on us to have a little fire. So we didn't have quite a little fire, we had quite a big fire, but just for a brief amount of time, and then we just topped it up just a little bit just to keep it low. I popped a photo of Abby watching the little fire over on my personal Instagram feed. So if you go to the Fiberific Instagram feed and look in the bio, there's another Instagram feed, so if you want to go and follow that, you can. And that's a bit more dog family kind of food stuff. I don't know if you care. I get it if you don't. But I grabbed a photo of Abby there, and that looked really cool. But it's clearing up and it's looking so good. Kim's saying that the chickens didn't stay restricted anyway. In the old chook pen they did. It was huge, and we left them locked in most of the time. We'd let them out in the afternoon, but they did stay put in there. It's this little one that they've got. They've just got free run of the yard now because it's so small. Stace L is building retaining walls. Oh, that's something that's on our list of the next things to do, because that area has got retaining walls all around it, and they're rotting and falling apart. So that's a job. I was like, Stace, I might need to talk to you about how we go about that. The yard is looking amazing from Andrea, and the chickens don't chase me as much. No, they're used to you now. You're allowed to have a smaller than 2 meter fire for outdoor heating. It may have gotten larger than 2 meters at one stage. When we first set it up, it just went. I will post a video on my my private Instagram. Because I've got a new phone, guys. My new phone finally arrived, and it's got this super slow-mo thing. So I got a super slow-mo of the fire just going. It's amazing. So I'll go and pop that over there as well. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. You just choose to use some garden waste as your fuel source. Absolutely. So yeah, Game Widow says, I'd love to have a fire pit, but local council says no. Look, I'm sure we're not supposed to have a fire pit, and it's not going to stay. It's just there just while we, clear things. We bought just a little one from Aldi the other day. That's got like a nice mesh cage over the top, so there's no risk of like embers flying off, because that was something we were watching last night. We waited till the wind was perfect, it went straight up, we watched it to make sure nothing bad happened. So Andrew, my dad said the same thing. He was like, have you got any potatoes we could throw in foil? Look at these gorgeous coals. We could totally make jacket potatoes. And Abby, who doesn't eat jacket potatoes, is like, yeah, let's do that. Christine's got to go. Bye, Christine. We're going to run a bit longer than usual today, guys, because we started late. So it's nearly 11:30 now. We're going to run till about 10 to 12, just because I had some serious technical glitches at the start. I don't know what happened. I can't answer the question. I didn't change anything. I just basically rebooted things and it just started. I don't know. So because I was looking at all the settings and I'm like, the settings are fine, and it didn't work. So it is absolutely insane. I don't know. I'm making a space for my tea over here, and I've already got a space over there. Josh says, oh yay, so I didn't miss too much. No, Josh, you didn't. I started really late. I was jumping into that. We did have a false start. There is a video there, which after this chat I'll go in and get rid of about 5 minutes of me going, where it was really glitchy and horrible. And I'll get rid of that. But yeah. Kim says you need to cook and call it a hungy. My dad was just last night, he was like, this would be perfect for a hungy. Go and get a roast. And I'm like, I'm not doing a roast hungy for 3 people. I'm not. But it is a good space. It's a good hole for a hungy. Freaky Geek says, not a clue what a hungy is. It is a traditional way, mostly a Polynesian, New Zealand kind of way, where the food is wrapped in leaves and buried, and then the fire is built over the food, and it cooks slowly for hours. And then when you pull away, you rake away all the coals, the leaves, because you use wet leaves, the leaves are a little singed. They're a bit singed, but they're still mostly green, and when you open it up, all the meat has been steamed, and it's beautiful and it's delicious. If you ever get the opportunity for a hungy or pit food, as in like cooked in a pit, I would say go for it if you trust the people doing it. Damper on a stick, absolutely. Oh, there you go, Kim's tossed it in there. We would have to stand metered back. Hang on a second. I used to go camping with firefighters, and we would have to stand 50 meters back. The fire was that big. Yeah, for sure. Oh, lost you for a minute. Yeah, I saw something happen on my end here. I didn't realize. Sounds like a luau. Yes, it's very similar to a luau. Similar to a clam bake with seaweed in New Zealand. Yeah. I think a lot of countries have something sort of similar with their variations that they do. But yeah, so everyone, we did flash off and on again, but I think we're good. I don't know what caused that. I've got no idea. Andrea says that firefighters are crazy with fire. Yes. Yeah, from what I'm hearing, that seems to be the case. I suppose you've got to be comfortable around fire to be willing to walk in to a fire to put it out, really. You don't want to be terrified of fire and have to go into fire. Kim says, I think a luau is the whole party. I don't know. I'd have to book. I'd have to have a look. I'd need to do some research. But Aboriginal culture has a way to do it as well. My dad was telling me about that last night. Donna Carr says prayers are needed, battling with depression. It's good to talk about it, Donna. And I know that there's other people in our group here who have similar problems. And so you're not alone. And you also need to find someone you can ring, which I'm sure you know. You don't need me to tell you. But just know you're not alone, and you're not alone in this group. And that you can just, focus on something that you enjoy is helpful. But definitely, you know yourself better than anyone else does. And if it's time, you need to go and talk to somebody else, someone who is qualified and who can help you come up with some really good strategies and ways to get through some of the tough times. Craft says, I used to be an admin. I'm crazy with spelling. I'm dreadful with spelling. I look at words sometimes and I'll be like, did I spell that right? I don't know if I spelled that right. Did I? And then half the time it's like, yeah, that one's right, but it still looks wrong. Leanne says, cobs of corn, unpeeled, wrapped in foil, delicious in the fire pits too, along with your taters. Oh, so many things. So many things. Nature's Craft says, my mum used to cook salmon in sand at the beach more than 30 years ago. Absolutely. And that's, I mean, that's the thing, like beautiful baked fish. And that's very common as well, Nature's Craft. I hated it as a kid, but now I like it. It's like now when you don't want to make it for yourself, or you can't access it as easily, and you're like, man, I can't have it now. But before I could have had it like heaps, and I was like, yuck. I was like that with avocado as a kid. I'm like, oh man, we had this massive avocado tree in the yard, and it had like hundreds and hundreds of avos on it, and we'd just be so sick. Everything had avocado on the side, and we'd be just like, Mom, I hate avocado. And now I'm paying $3 an avocado. I'm like, ow, we just have little slivers. Oh, there we go. Lindsay says, just had a quick check. A luau is technically the whole party, but the meat is cooked in an imu or earth oven. Oh, there you go. Nature's Crafts have an avocado tree that I grew from pit, but it's kind of sad. I got one too. It's just out here. I'll have to take a photo of it. But it's like a twig with some branches, but it's really tall because there are other things growing around it stealing all its sun. So I don't know if we're ever going to get any avocados off it. Leanne says, olives for her, yuck as a kid, but oh my God, as I've grown up. See, that's the thing. We've all got these things. Kids have more taste buds than adults, and that's why I taste change. Absolutely, Stace, you're right. And also, adults tend to like more bitter, salty, whereas kids don't. They prefer the sweeter, and there's another one, sweet and... So it's bitter, salty, tangy, sweet. There's another one. I can't think of what it is. But yeah, absolutely. Our taste buds literally change. Not just like seem to change. They literally change. Marion says wine. Yes, Marion, the answer to any question is wine. I agree with you. And he says, well, I learned something today, so it wasn't wasted. Excellent. But Nice says it's crawfish season here and I'm Cajun. I've not had crawfish. Is it like, I mean, I have to be careful because I'm allergic to some seafoods. But I mean, I like stuff. I like seafood. I just can't have it all. Imami. What's imami? I'm going to have to look that up. So sorry, sidetracked. Biggest sidetrack ever. Fluff flying in my air. We're talking about Bendigo. For those of you that are in Australia and can come to Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, come to the Sheep and Wool Show. I'm going to be setting up a time where we can go out and gather as a little group and have tea. So we can meet up somewhere and have dinner together if you want to have. And then I'm going to you can come and catch up with me at the stall as well. I have a stall there. Everything is set up. I basically gut my office and shed and dye everything and take it all to Bendigo. So come and say hi. I am going to try and stream from Bendigo at some stage through the weekend. I can't guarantee times just because it is sometimes it's too busy and it's not fair on Emma, who helps me in my stall, to get her to do everything when I'm just sort of chatting with you guys. So because it is chaos. Bendigo is amazing, freaky, awesome, just chaos. So absolutely go to Bendigo if you can. Let me have a look here. Crawfish equals yabbies. Oh, I remember eating yabbies as a kid. They were cool. Nature's Crafts calls them crayfish or crawdads. Okay, lots of names, lots of names. Alison is going. Fantastic, Alison. Marion is not. That's sad. But don't you have an international trip? Isn't that why you can't go? Sally is calling it Spendigo. It is a bit Spendigo for sure, for sure. Same here, Marion. It's a bendy stay for me every year. Oh, I'm sorry. Donna's phone died and she lost us. We're back now, I hope. Wendigo is a mystical North American monster that imitates people and eats them or something. I saw Wendigos in... It was fictional television. I just remember seeing the word Wendigo either in Grimm or Supernatural. I can't remember which one. Andrea says I'm sending my mum to the show. She doesn't know it yet. Well, if she watches the stream this week, she will. It's Supernatural. Was it Supernatural? Was it? There you go. Thank you. So yeah, there's so much stuff going on. Andrew and I have been going through all the stock that I have. We're making a list to try and work out to make sure we've got all the colors in all the bases, so we don't mess up and not have Blurpool in the Leo 2. This beautiful soft base that I'm working here too. Maybe Charmed. It could have been Charmed as well. It could have been any of those shows. But yeah, I've only watched a few episodes of Charmed. I was never a big Charmed sort of watcher. And the reality is I've only watched the first few seasons of Supernatural too, but I am rectifying that. Blurple forever. Hey Jacob, welcome to the chat. Where are we? Nature's Craft has popped in a wiki link, but we're not going to have, sorry, we can't have those links there. But yeah, so you can just Google Wendigo and find out more information about that, I'm sure. Freaky Geek says I could have used that information last night to work out which show Dean was on. Yeah, absolutely. Freaky Geek is back. It was on Grimm. It could have been on all three, you know, because they all do talk about similar things. Freaky Geek had to refresh because of some kind of error. Sorry, Freaky. I wonder if I can get... Yeah, Kim can totally post links, Jacob. Jacob, if you want to throw a link up, I can approve it. So, yeah. But Kim can post links. So, mods can post links. I don't know why I don't have you as a mod, Jacob. But yeah, so we've got Bendigo coming, and I'm going to try and have all the pretty yarns. Kim's on strike because I won't give her access to the back end of Patreon. Oh my gosh, hang on a second. Can I do a thing? I'm clicking things here. Oh no, look at that. Jacob can post his own links now, Kim. He doesn't need your help. There we go. I think that should be, there you go. Jacob's got a wrench, you guys. Watch out for Jacob. For those of you that don't know, Jacob is one of us. One of us. One of us. We've lured him to the dark side of yarn. And he does beautiful, beautiful graphic design work. So if anybody needs any graphic design work, contact Jacob. He's at Atoric Designs. Or message me and I'll send you an email address, or message him and he can send his own email address. But yeah, Jacob does amazing, amazing things. And you know that song that you guys all love to hear at the beginning of these live chats? Jacob made that for us. So as well as all the graphics. So all hail moderator Jacob. Marion says, with Patreon Zoom, can we hear and talk with everyone? Yes. You can choose yourself if you want your video shown or not, but it's totally, you need a microphone, like even just the plug that you plug into your phone with a microphone on it. It's totally two-way. It's a two-way conversation. I love it. Andrew says, Jacob is awesome and Chantel needs to listen to him more often. Oh my gosh, this is the worst. You're gonna dye up more mist and coffee too? Yes, I am. Like I was saying earlier, I'm out of the base and I've got to order some more in. But I will totally be doing more in mist and more in coffee as well. There's still some double shots left, but none of the plain coffee. Gamer says, did I tell you I convinced one of my scouts to be my product photographer? No, that's fantastic. Um, Freaky Geek, I've never had gold or silver links. There you go. It's like FaceTime or Skype. Yeah, the Zoom chat is a bit like a big old FaceTime group conversation, except a bit more stable. Kim needs to get into a meeting if she wants that responsibility. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Grace tried to take Grace is one of Andrea's daughters, and she came in to help out when Andrea came a couple of weeks ago during the school holidays. And yeah, she was just like, yeah, I can do this and I can do that. And she was doing all the work. It was really, she did. She tried to take her mum's job. I'm just reading this conversation between Kim and Jacob. I'm just staying out of it. She was the one I took to New Zealand for the photography course. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad that worked out. I just realized I was totally creeping further. I'm leaning back. I'm just getting involved in the combo now. I can't do that. You can't see what I'm working on. Oh dear. Andrea's in on it now. Oh, this is the worst. I've missed something. Hang on. Oh, okay. No, that's right. It's all right. I'm just checking. So you guys, we've got so to recap some of my points from today, we have anybody who purchases the Leo 2 yarn online for the next week will receive a printed copy of this pattern to go with it. And then as of next week, you'll be able to pick up the PDF from the website and print it yourself. We will be getting more Leo 2 in. It will be continuing. Just don't have any at the moment. I've got to order it yet. It hasn't even been ordered, so I've got to order it and then we'll get it. We'll have it in time for Bendigo. I'm not sure how much sooner than that we'll have it. We'll definitely have it in time for Bendigo. We also talked about the Redlands Open Day in June. If you want to come along to that, if you are local, it is such a fun day. It's only $5 entry to get in, and that includes a little bit of morning tea. So that is fantastic. There's so many raffles and so many prizes drawn, and it's just like a buzz with just people excited about yarn. So you should totally come to that. And then we also had a little talk about Bendigo and about how you should totally come, especially if you are Victorian local. You should go. I'm still ignoring the conversation between Kim and Jacob. You guys are naughty. Kim has updated the spoilers thread on Ravelry if you are interested in checking out the new Mystery Lace Club. Oh, Kim's right, yes. The very first thing that we talked about was that Caffeinated Crafters is tonight. If you are a local here in Brisbane and you are willing to get yourself to Browns Plains Coffee Club, it's the one in the Village Square, not in the shopping centre. I will be there from around 6:30 onwards. So you can come along and join in, bring some craft that sort of takes up like your section of a table. Don't bring your quilting unless you're just doing some hand piecing. We've got no room for a long arm. So yeah, so come along and have some fun with us. I believe Kim will be there as well. So if you want to see Kim, you could possibly do that. Also, Chantel, that's right. I need to work out an approximate price range for a Charlotte kit. Thank you for the reminder, Annie. I will get onto that. Where are we? You just can't trust the moderators. Yeah, you guys are hilarious. Jacob and Kim are having a links war of who's tossing in what where. Jacob's got in links for Caffeinated Crafters. Kim's popped in a link for the Mystery Lace Club spoilers. Joss is going to be there tonight, so that is fantastic. Rebecca is in the corner being a good girl. Good girl, Rebecca. You don't have to be in the corner, Phil. Do you have a coupon code for first-time orders? I do not, Dee. I'm sorry. No. It's something I've been thinking about, but I haven't gone there yet. But yeah, and sorry I missed that the first time. There's lots of things happening all in there. So we've... Nature's Crafts ate a whole big bar of Cadbury's. My bad, but it was delicious. Well, sometimes you just need to do this stuff. And I've just had a reminder, if you want to join into the Fiberific Fun Zone and keep this conversation going after we hit end here, you can all go over to the Fiberific Fun Zone and the Facebook group, where you can all, it's basically a group for you guys, and I jump in there every now and again and just, you know, pull people off each other from fighting. No, I'm kidding. You guys are awesome over there. All the links appear over there as well, so anything we talk about here ends up there too. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. There's also the Fiberific Facebook page as well. So if you just want a bit more of just a look into what I post up there, you can join all the things. Join all the things, you guys. It really helps me out and lets me know that I need to do more work and reminds me to do things when I see the notifications that someone new has joined or asked to join. See what happens when you give those 2 wrenches. Exactly, Annie. Exactly. You know, they are being a bit naughty, but at the same time, they're also throwing great links in. So what can I do? You know, good help and all that. Freaky Geek says, well, shoot, Jacob needs to upload some videos. I can't stalk without them. Freaky Geek, if you want to stalk Jacob, you need to go and hit the Atoric Design page over on Facebook. Jacob, can you toss a link into your Atoric Design page? And then Freaky can stalk you over there. Sorry, I just read Leanne's message. Lol Kim, play nice. There is room for 4 Jacob too. Where are we? This reminds me, there are frozen Reese's peanut butter eggs in the freezer. Oh my gosh. There we go, you guys. Jacob has put a link up, but Jacob, your link's not clickable. There's something that happened. Your HTTP's not there. He won't know me on Facebook. You can totally stalk him, Freaky. He's not going to know who you are over there. And oh yeah, and then Atoric over on Insta as well. Jacob does his great, if you're into graphic design, guys, sorry, I'm just going to go, you know, sideways a little bit. Jacob does his great live streams of his work process and how he creates the graphic design, and they're really cool to watch if you can catch one. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Where are we? There we go. Jacob's got a clickable link in now. Good going, Jacob. That's awesome. Right. Well, you guys, I'm going to run. Well, I'm not going to run. You guys know me better than that. I'm going to click end stream and then move rather slowly to the next job I need to do. Because that's how I roll, literally. So lots of people jumping over to follow Jacob on Atoric Design. Jacob does fantastic graphics work and is always a hive of information for business ideas and more. So yeah. I can't keep straight which social media platform wants which URL prefix. I know, it'd be nice if they all played nice and just did one thing, wouldn't it? Ever thought of doing your logo in other colorways? I have, odd but nice. We have a range of colors. We have 5 colors that we do the logo in. That Jacob made for me is gorgeous. I've got this rainbow thing. If you have a look at some of the old live streams, my background used to have it, so I've gone with this just because it's easier. But my old background used to be this piece that had all these rainbow colors, but I think I've got photos of it somewhere. I'll find it. On my cups. I haven't. That's something. Well, the reality is, odd but nice, that I'm not sure what we're going to do with the cups. I quite like it, but we'll see. Everyone's, I don't run either, so I can totally relate. That's awesome. Donna had an awesome time in this chat. I'm so glad, Donna. I hope you have a great day. No one's running, Freaky. No one's running. All right, my guys. I will see you all next week. I'm going to go. Have a fantastic week and weekend. Enjoy what you're doing. And I'll catch you all later. Bye.